Welcome, everybody. My name is Gediminas. Welcome to our training Zoom. And before we get started with this evening's training, just a quick reminder that we still have the special offer going on in UK at the moment, 35% off pure intense and pheromone collections. And they've just announced this evening, where is it? It's free delivery with orders over 300 points as well. So you have a great opportunity to place your orders and get a free delivery too. Now, back to this evening's training. And this evening's training is different because I don't need the slides. All I need is my 5 fingers in order to do this training this evening. Saves me, saves me the hassle of creating the slides. However, even though I'm not using any slides, I hope that this training will be very useful because this is a mindset training. This is one of those trainings where we talk about mindset and what's important in order to get great results in business. Now, you might have heard a saying, success leaves clues. So if we observe successful people, quite often we'll start noticing certain things that successful people do that unsuccessful people don't. That's why I'm going to share 5 things that successful people do this evening that you may find interesting and, of course, useful in your business. Now, for this training, like I said, I only need my hand, and the symbol is like this. Have you ever seen people do like this? Hey, hey, right? Have you ever seen this before? I think you have, right? Now, each of these 5 fingers will mean something. So the first finger in this training is this finger, right? The thumbs up, right? What does the thumbs up mean to you? A-okay, right? Or great, or well done, right? Like thumbs up is usually positive, right? It means positivity. You see, great leaders are positive people. Now, positivity is a choice. It's not, oh, you either are born a positive person or not. You either can be or can't be a person. No, none of that. Positivity is a choice, right? We choose to be either positive or negative. Now, in life and in business, there's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be difficulties. There's always going to be unexpected things, etc., right? But it is what we choose to focus on. Do we choose to focus on all the problems, on all the difficulties, on all the bad stuff? Or we choose to focus on the positive things, right? And same way in business. You know, when we talk to people, whether we're talking to customers or we're talking to team members or we're talking to leaders or whatever, we could always find something negative about each person. Or what successful people do, they focus on finding something positive about every person, right? No, nobody will be perfect, right? But one person will have this talent, or another person will have this skill, or another person will have this great thing going for them. And a successful leader is a professional compliment teller and a professional positivity searcher, right? They always look, oh, that's amazing thing about you. Oh, wow, that's a great skill. Use that, right? They will always look for positive things. And same way in business, they will always be sharing positive information, inspiring others, uplifting others, right? Because network marketing is a people's business. Now, since it's a people's business, guess what the fuel it runs on? It's emotion. It's emotion. It's positivity. It's enthusiasm. It's emotion, right? So if you can be a positive person, and recently I got this question from somebody. Somebody reached out to me and they said, well, Gediminas, I've been following you for a while, like, going to your trainings, etc. Are you always this positive? Are you always this motivated? Or is it just a front? Is it just like, a show that you give and then you go back to being a normal person, right? And I said, you know what? For most of the time, I am. Like, yeah, of course, there are days when I get off from bed, on the wrong foot, and there are days when you might have a bad mood or whatever. But most of the time, I am quite positive person. I am quite happy. I am quite sad, but not because like I was born that way. It's because I choose to. I choose to look for things to be grateful for instead of complaining about the things that are missing. I choose to be happy about certain things instead of focusing on something that I might be sad about or angry about or whatever, right? So it is a choice, right? So first finger is positivity. Now, if we carry on, the second finger is this finger, right? The pointing finger, right? So what do we use that finger most of the time? To point, right? So that's a pointing finger, which means in our context, in this training, it shows direction. Direction. And direction, as positivity, is very important in business. And successful leaders, they are movers and shakers of people. The best leaders in network marketing are able to move a large group of people into a certain direction. It may be, hey, there's going to be a big conference. So a successful leader will bring the largest amount of people to that conference because they can move that group of people into a certain direction. Or maybe there's a new product that just came out, and a successful leader will move a group of people towards that product so they would try it, use it, etc. Or maybe there's a great special offer or a discount. And again, a great leader will promote it out throughout their team so that as many people as possible would know about it and use that, right? So one thing for a successful person in network marketing, one, you need to know your own direction. What is your own direction? That's your goals and dreams and ambitions, right? Like, you can't hit the target that you can't see. So a successful leader always knows, what is it that I'm working towards? Like, what level do I want to reach? What income do I want to get to? How big a team do I want to build? Or whatever, right? They always know clearly. They have the clarity of what they're trying to achieve. Secondly, they know the direction they want to move their whole team and their whole business. And finally, they give direction to individual people, right? So when they're communicating with their team members or sometimes even customers, they will give them direction. Hey, you should do that. Hey, you should do that strategy. Hey, you should use that tool, right? So they are pointing towards tools, resources, and other things that may be useful to other people, right? So that's the second finger. Now, the third finger is the middle finger. And a middle finger is an international symbol. You know, no matter what country I go to, everybody knows what a middle finger means, right? So at some point, everybody got familiarized with that finger and what it means internationally, right? And we know what it means, right? It's not a very positive sign, right? But well recognized everywhere around the world, right? So it's when you wish somebody again, you're pointing them towards somewhere, right? Maybe not a very pleasant place, right? So the middle finger is kind of that type of a rude gesture, right? But in this context, in this business training, the middle finger is pointing towards an attitude. And the attitude is of not caring what other people will think of you. Because, you know, in 14 years doing network marketing and meeting hundreds and thousands of people in this business, I've noticed one thing. The same way how success leaves clues, the same way failure does as well. And what I've realized, that a lot of people who don't achieve very much in their life are so concerned, what will others think? What will others say? How will this look like? But what if they laugh at me? But what if they criticize me? But what if they write a negative comment? But what if they write me a bad message? But what, you know what I mean? Sometimes we're so concerned with what others will think of us. And I remember seeing this quote, which said, if you knew how little other people think of you, that's when you would be offended. You see, because you are the main actor in your movie, right? Your life is your movie and you're the main actor, right? Like the world revolves around you, right? But that's only for you. Because for other people, They are the main actor of their movie, right? So they are most concerned about themselves, not about you. You think that, oh, everybody's looking at me, everybody's thinking about me. Trust me, not that many people do. So first of all, nobody's thinking of you anyway. And secondly, no matter what other people think of you, will other people's opinion of you pay your bills? Will other people's approval or disapproval of you will give a better life to your children? Unlikely, right? So why would you worry about it? You might as well then have that attitude of the middle finger and say, hey, I don't really care what other people think of me. I don't really care what their opinion is and so on. I have my goal, right? The direction, the second finger. I have my goal, my target. I want to create a great life for myself. I want to create a great life for my family. I want to contribute to things that I want to contribute. I want to maybe leave a legacy. I want to achieve great things in my life. And the last thing I'm going to concern myself is what my neighbor thinks about me, of what somebody, some troll on social media thinks about me, etc. Right? Because guess what? Like, no matter what you do, somebody will criticize you, right? Like when I first started in network marketing, I thought, well, why people are like so negative about network marketing? And then I got a friend who's into politics, and he goes, well, why everybody hates politics? And then I've got another friend who's a policeman, and he goes, why everybody hates police? Right? And then I realized that doesn't matter what you do, somebody's going to hate you for it. Right? If you're a doctor, oh, you're bribing people and accepting bribes, etc., whatever, right? Like the things happen, right? Like it doesn't matter what you do. So like I remember reading this quote, which said, if you don't want to be criticized, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Then nobody will criticize you. Then you're not going to get into anybody's way. But do you want to say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing? I don't think so, right? Because you have dreams, you have ambitions, you have goals. So you might as well just go for it, right? Because nobody's going to care about it, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, etc. And I always give this question. I say, look, I know you're concerned what other people think of you right now, maybe. But when you let's say 5 years from now, you've built your business, you're making $10,000 or euros or pounds per month. You got a massive team, you got a brand new Mercedes from the company. Will you think what other people think of you then? And almost everybody go, oh no, I won't care then. Why do you care about it now? Because now you don't even have a Mercedes. Now you don't even have a successful business. Why are you worried now? You might as well get on with it, right? Start working, right? By the way, if nobody like if nobody's talking, if somebody's talking behind your back, that means you're at the front. If nobody's talking behind your back, most likely you're at the back. So you might as well start moving, right? Okay. The fourth finger is this finger, right? It's the wedding band finger, right? So this finger, of course, then will represent in this example what? Your values, right? Your standards. So even though we want to achieve big goals, we want to achieve big dreams, we should do that ethically, morally, friendly, right? We should never be mean to people. We should never climb over people's heads. We should never harm other people on our way to success. Because if you do that, short term, it may look like a good idea. Short term, it may look like a shortcut to success, right? But long term, it always bites you in the back. It always goes wrong, right? You know about karma. If you do bad things to people, bad things will come to you. If you do good things to people, good things will come to you, right? The universe always repays its debts, right? Either way, right? Good or bad. So you might as well then build your business on a very strong foundation of virtues, of values, of ethics, right? Because when you do that, then it's a great feeling. Because you don't just want to make the money, but then feel bad about it. You want to make the money, you want to become super successful, but then enjoy it. Then actually how to say, enjoy the process, right? So it's super, super, super important to build your business on that strong foundation. And then lastly, the fifth finger is the little one, is the tiny one. And what does that represent? That represents the details. And sometimes they say that success is in the details, right? Or the genius is in the details, and our business is no different. It's simple, but it's not easy. You don't need to finish 3 university degrees in order to do this business, right? It's pretty simple, right? However, it still will require certain knowledge and certain skills. Now, some people call network marketing a business. Some people call it an industry. I like to call network marketing a profession. And like any other profession, whether you decide to be a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, an electrician, a plumber, or whatever profession you choose, you will need to learn certain skills in all of these professions. Same way in network marketing. But quite often people sort of get into network marketing and they go, well, fingers crossed, I'll somehow figure it out, right? And at the beginning, you can really, like with the help of your sponsor, your leader, and getting some tools on your hands, you can pretty much start doing it on day one. But over time, it's those little details, right? Learning how to communicate with people and getting better at it. Learning how to grow your business on social media, right? Like what kind of posts to put and what stories work and what reels give a good result. Then maybe learning how to become a better leader. Then maybe learning, those little things that we need to learn in this business in order to get better and better. And in order to do that, you may have to read a book. You may need to attend a training. You may need to maybe listen to an audiobook when you're walking your dog or in the gym or whatever. Maybe once in a while, you will even need to attend a live training event like a conference or something, right? But when you invest in yourself, you will get those small details. Because sometimes the secret is in those details, right? Like we observe a successful leader and it looks like, oh, I'm doing the same things. I'm doing everything what everybody else is doing, but somehow I'm not getting the result because you're missing a tiny bit. And it's like I always say, a system in business is like a recipe, right? Like a recipe you get to cook a meal or bake a cake. But if you get the recipe and you slightly change the recipe, like you forget to put in the eggs or you forget to put in the sugar, right? Like a tiny change might mean a big difference to the end result, right? So same way in business, sometimes it's the small details. It's the tiniest of things that we missed out and that causes us not to get the right result, right? So when you're focused, when you are committed, and when you're responsible, then you look for those small details and you get better results too. So that's our 5 fingers. That's our quick training about the 5 fingers. And you may think, to yourself, you might do a little analysis like, where out of those 5 I need to work on the most? Where would I need to, what would I need to do in order to go to the next level in my business too?